Guruji Mata ji Dandavat Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada. You all can see my screen, verse 6, 7?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you. We will begin now. Om Agyantimirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरतिशे नमः हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखम करोति वाचालं पंगुम लंगायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम् ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. So today we will discuss verse number 6 and 7. Okay, so this is verse number 6. यस्तु सर्वाणि भूतानि आत्मनि एवानुपश्यति सर्वभूतेषु चात्मानं ततो न विजुगुप्सते. So these two verses basically describe the previous two verses. They described the inconceivable potencies of the Lord. He's close, he's far, or near and far. He walks, he doesn't walk. Um, um, he is everywhere, yet he is aloof. So these were some of the like how the Lord is inconceivable. And we discussed how when we consider different features of the Lord, all these contradictions they merge into him. Some glorifies Brahman aspect, some glorifies Paramatma aspect, some glorifies Bhagwan aspect. So the Lord is like through his different features, through his different energies, the Lord is everywhere. And the Lord is all powerful. The demigods, we saw the demigods work out of fear from him. Um, um, he runs faster than the fastest. So there were few things. Now these two verses describes the vision of a pure devotee. And yeah, the characteristic and the characteristic of pure devotees. Yastu sarvani bhutani atmani evanupashyati sarva bhuteshu chatmanam tato na vijugupsate. He who systematically sees everything in relation to the Supreme Lord. This is the vision of a Supreme Lord. They see everything in relation with the Supreme Lord, who sees all living entities as his part and parcel. They see every living entity as on a spiritual platform. They see every living entity not through the eyes, but deep within, part and parcel of Krishna. They see the Lord in everyone's heart, and they see the spirit soul in everyone's heart. So they see all living being as his part and parcel, and who see the Lord within all living entity. They see how the super soul is everywhere, how the soul is within all living entity. Within everything, never hates anything or any being. Um, and they don't hate anything or any being. Basically, they neither l- of course, they love all, but they don't have um, like how Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. Na, no one is dear to me, and I am not envious of anyone. Samoham sarvabhuteshu nasti samena priya. Nobody is priya, and nobody. I'm not envious of anyone, and nobody is dear. In a way, the Lord is equal to all. He sees everybody as on a same level. Um, so likewise, they don't hate anybody. This verse also applies um, um, when we grow in our Krishna consciousness, and when we become more Krishna conscious. Naturally, the symptom of Krishna consciousness is that we will start. We cannot hate anybody. Um, because many times another way to look at it is um, um, who see the principle of I love somebody, I hate somebody is based on a material vision. Like somebody does what I say, then they are my friend, and somebody goes against my will, then I don't like them. Or somebody gives pleasure to my senses, I like them. Somebody doesn't give pleasure to my senses, I am not so much eager for them. So it's the material aspect which brings affection and enmity. The famous instruction of Prahlad Maharaj to Sanda and Amarka, when the teachers asked Prahlad, how has enemies infiltrated? Then Prahlad says, only because of the illusory energy or the influence of the modes one considers somebody as friend, somebody as enemy. Um, because they are on a completely spiritual platform themselves, they see the Lord within their heart. They realize themselves. They see the Lord within the heart of every living entity. They realize everybody else whom they're looking also. So the vision is completely transcendent. And that's why there is no question of hating anything. Not only they don't hate a thing or they don't hate a being, because they see the things also energy of Krishna that can be used. Srila Prabhupada says an expert devotee can engage everything in the service of Krishna. So they don't hate anything and they don't hate any being. Um, um, yeah. And we will see more. Um, okay, so let's now read something from Srila Prabhupada's purport. This is a description of Mahabhagavat. Um, Shiva Maharaj says we cannot mimic it. If we mimic and try to see the Lord in the heart of all living entity, we see the Lord in the heart of all living entity only when we hear about it or when we read about it. But in our normal vision, we cannot see that. So this is something which cannot be attained by mental effort, by conscious effort, but it is something which will be the natural vision of a Mahabhagavat. Um, um, so this is a description of the Mahabhagavat, the great personality who sees everything in relation to the supreme personality of Godhead. So in this way, like a glimpse of it also comes in 10 chapter. Among this I am this, among mountain I am Meru, among human I am their intelligence, I am their strength, I am the beauty. All the splendor is coming from my spark. So in this way, um, Arjuna also asked Krishna, how can I see you everywhere? So Krishna showed universal form. So they see the Lord, in their vision, they see the Lord everywhere. Um, um, Then Prabhupada, interestingly, Prabhupada says Supreme Lord presence is realized in three stages. Kanishtadhikari, and there is Kanishtadhikari, Madhyamadhikari, Uttamadhikari. They see Lord presence at different stages. Kanishtadhikari sees the Lord only in the temple. Madhyamadhikari sees the Lord more pervadingly in the innocent people, in the devotees. He sees more. Uttamadhikari, he sees the Lord everywhere. So Lord presence is realized in these three different stages. Kanishtadhikari considered to be consider Lord to be present in the place of worship. Temple, Krishna is there. Cannot ascertain who is at what stage of devotional service. Um, there's a famous line of Prabhupada, it takes one to know one. So we cannot ascertain the devotion of those who are more advanced than us. We may try to understand, but we really cannot understand those who are above us. Cannot tell who has realized the Supreme Lord. Cannot say. Cannot. I mean, Kanishta Adhikari cannot understand. Um, um, we tend to judge one's devotion based on one's action, or we tend to judge one's devotion based on um, this devotee has many disciples, this devotee sings very nicely, this devotee speaks very nicely, this devotee does kirtan very nicely. um, um, yeah, we have some factors, and based on that we try to make some conclusion, this devotee is more advanced than this, or this devotee has seen Krishna everywhere. Why? Because I saw in the eyes of that devotee, I can say that this devotee sees Krishna everywhere. So this is like Srila Prabhupada says, a Kanishta Adhikari, talking about myself. Naturally, and then something wrong, then we, just like we may put somebody on a very high pedestal, we may bring somebody down from a very high pedestal also, based on our vision. So Kanishta Adhikari vision does not have much weight. Like I remember in um, previously, before, while I was working in Grand Rapids, it's like 2011, I think. That time I was working and I would go to temples over the weekend. Um, so Chicago, I would go maybe few weeks. I will go to Chicago temple. Few weeks I would go to Detroit temple. Um, um, because our Farmington temple came in 2018. Um, so when I would go to Chicago, one time I remember somebody came from Vrindavan and he was leading the kirtan. Then, while he was leading, another devotee from Chicago temple, it was very ecstatic kirtan. So other devotee, when this Prabhu was leading, other devotee would kind of rhyme with the Prabhu who was leading, who came from Vrindavan, because he was in so ecstasy that he was leading along with the leader. He's singing and he's singing along with the followers also. So this devotee who was leading, he became very unhappy, and then he told this Prabhu who was leading along with him that don't sing when I am singing. I was just sitting behind. Don't sing when I am singing. Sing after I am done. Because in the middle of Kirtan, very short time, so he gave a clear instruction to this devotee. And I was thinking, what kind of devotee he is. I mean, something like this devotee is showing some kind of like unhappiness on his face. He's so absorbed in Krishna Kirtan. Still, this I don't know. So because cannot understand now. Later on, I was lamenting, hey, why did I judge that devotee? He's such an exalted Vaishnava from Vrindavan. They gave his whole life. I don't remember who that devotee is also now, because it's so long and he just came once. And but it's like we may have a conception of an ideal personality should be like this. A devotee should be like, um, um, and then based on our vision, we can bring somebody down. This devotee speaks like this, so I don't like this devotee that much. This devotee really, so this devotee must be like one step ahead. So we may form general conception about different devotees, but it is said that we cannot understand who is at what level. We cannot understand who has um, uh, yeah, who has realized the Supreme Lord. So cannot tell who has realized the Supreme Lord. Shri Vari Mataji, Dhanvat Pranam
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam Prabhuji. You said that you lamented after um, thinking about like that, but what is wrong in it? If you think like why that the Prabhuji is coming from New Vrindavan, I understand, but they can also make mistakes, right, Prabhuji? If we think that they made a mistake, what is wrong in it? Is it why it will become an offense?
No, because I judged him. Na? I judged him that he
But
came
we
from.
that is happening in front of us, right, Prabhuji? That is how we what we are learning. Like it is like the person who is taking that instruction from the devotee who is coming from Vrindavan. What is he going? What he will feel? He is also feeling. He must be upset or disappointed or something, right? The person who is singing with the singer and with the devotees. He what
But
is his situation?
yeah, see, Mataji, it is not coherent, na? Because the singer who is leading, later on how I saw it, the singer who is leading, he want to change the tune or go fast, go slow, and
Okay.
somebody is leading with him. So there is a different perspective of why he's singing. But then uh, we may see something from a face value and say, oh, what kind of devotee this is. We may not see the whole. It is said the activities of devotees cannot be understood. We cannot understand their activities from the platform from which they are coming.
Yes, Prabhu. One more question is that, wait, Sadhu, quiet, please. Prabhuji, the more advanced the devotee is becoming, the more humble they will be becoming. I see you heard that Prabhuji Radhana Swami is giving initiations in Farmington Hills. There somebody by mistake they said something, and how did he take it? He made it into very, he turned it into very positive way, and he made that person who made that mistake, he made him feel so better. He wanted him to realize that you didn't make any mistake, let's not worry. He made them feel like that.
Um,
We are watching live.
uh-huh.
So I felt like, oh God, that thing only Radhana Swami Maharaj can do it. Nobody can do it. It's we cannot even imagine we can do like that. So
Mhm.
if we expect all the devotees, all the seniors to become like Radhana the Swami, it's not an offense, right?
No, actually, we should not think like that in a way because every devotee has a certain way of dealing. For example, if you see how Srila Prabhupada would deal the situation, then Prabhupada sometimes would scold, Prabhupada sometimes would say, you rascal, sit down. And people who found fault in Srila Prabhupada. So we may, that's what I'm saying, we may judge a devotee based on one aspect, but that does not mean that it's just we cannot understand the devotional aspect. I mean, Prabhupada is like Maha Bhagavad devotee. He's like completely dear to Lord Krishna. It's just the motivation, it's just the intention from which, um, like how Srila Prabhupada, wherever he's coming from, everything is coming out of love for Krishna. Everything is coming out of concern that how to train this particular devotee. Everything. So it's like from the it's Krishna is Bhavagai Janardana. He sees the internal. We see based on external, and we may make some conception. Even the line that nobody is as good as Radhanath Maharaj may not be very pleasing to Radhanath Maharaj. Because Maharaj will be like more happy if you say like all proper disciples are more advanced. I mean, of course, we say how we see is we just don't judge. We just say they are all um, Bhagwan ke Shuddha Bhakta hai sab. They have all realized Krishna. Um, mm, did I mean that's what I personally do is I don't see any difference between like whether it's Jayapataka Maharaj, whether it's Kalakanta Prabhu, whether it's Radhanath Maharaj, whether it's Gopal Krishna Maharaj, whether it's Bhakti Charu Maharaj. At the same time, we are very grateful to our spiritual master.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm not comparing on anything, bro. Just question like for me, I am so sensitive by hearing that the example what you gave. I don't know that about that person. I personally felt the leader he is not supposed to do like that. I felt. So that's why I started asking questions and all.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm trying to say is based on external,
Hmm.
um, don't make a conception about that devotee. Okay,
Hmm.
fine. No need to make an image of somebody in the mind. And this is what this particular verse is saying. Okay, fine, fine. Like just like how Prabhupada was saying, don't think anything about it. Um, just understand that in Chaitanya Charitamrita it is said the activities of devotees cannot be understood. That's how one devotee told me that that's how we make mental offenses. Is, oh, this person did like this, he's like this, he's like this, and then mental offenses eventually will be visible either in our words, in our actions, in our facial expressions. They'll be visible sometime and they turn physical. So we want to train our mind to not judge, because based on scriptures, like how Mahaprabhu says, cannot understand anybody who is ahead of us, like whether this devotee from Vrindavan, or we just, okay, I mean, it is not my duty, it is not my responsibility to put the devotees in different categories. If this is bin A, bin B, bin C, we just won't work. And first of all, we should not put them in different bins. And it is not our duty. I mean, we respect them. They are great devotees of the Lord. We want to serve them. They are Vaishnavas. They are very dear to the Lord. How can I serve them? It's just be satisfied with just that basic conception. Is that okay, Mata?
Yes, yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavatsala.
Okay. So cannot tell who has realized the Supreme Lord. Then sometimes quarrel among devotees. Another characteristic of Kanishtha. Quarrel among devotees, considering one type of devotion is better than others. This is something that we were just discussing. We have certain parameters that we really value. This devotee is very advanced because he had this many likes on Facebook. This devotee is great devotee because he makes me smile and I really love, he is like great. So we may consider one type of devotion is better than others, but there are so many devotees who are like Babajis, like God Kushal Babaji Maharaj, never give a lecture, and no Facebook account, no YouTube account, only one disciple, Saraswati Thakur, but Mahabhagavat, same like Jagannath Babaji Maharaj. So it is said, there is another very exalted Vaishnava, Varsana Maharaj. Some of you may know in New Vrindavan, super exalted. Hardly any disciples, lives in the woods. You go and search for his lectures, you hardly find 15-20 lectures on YouTube. But when you see him, your heart will be transformed. It will be touched. You will be touched by their devotion. So, considering one type of devotion is better than others, we don't want to do that. Then, materialistic devotee, Kanishta is a materialistic devotee who is trying to transcend the material boundary. So they are trying to transcend material boundary and they just try to go over. Yeah, I know Kanishta Adhikari. This devotee is Kanishta Adhikari. That devotee is Kanishta Adhikari. He is new. Um, or they try to transcend, means there is some kind of mimic there. um, I see the Lord everywhere. I see, like, they immediately try to go beyond the modes. I think I'm done with lust and envy and anger and pride, or whatever. They who is a materialistic devotee by nature. The one is within the three modes, but he is trying to transcend the material boundary in a way. Okay, something like that. Then Madhyamadhikaris are intermediate. Actually, we cannot judge a devotee based on whether they are initiated, not initiated, based on when they come to Krishna consciousness. We cannot judge a devotee based on whether they wear Kanthi Mala, whether they have Das or Dasi at the end. Cannot judge a devotee by any means. Actually, it is said we can understand the devotion of those who are up to our devotion. Like our spiritual masters, by seeing us, they will understand where we stand. who stands with, they can understand, but we cannot understand them. Vice versa is not true. um, because this devotional journey is lifetime's journey, na? Who is starting from what point, from their past life. Our children may be more advanced than us. um, but again, don't think my child is a pure devotee. It's like, just what is the need, that there is a urge, there is a urge within our heart to like to kind of make a map of devotees, which devotee lies where in the map. That urge needs to go. No need. They are Vaishnavas and they are very dear to the Lord. And my duty is to serve Vaishnavas. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, duty of Grihastha Ashram is service to Vaishnavas. I will serve Vaishnavas. Actually, one should have high respect for devotees, no matter what kind of devotee one is. Like Srila Prabhupada, another time Srila Prabhupada said, we cannot we cannot criticize a person who is in the shower that he is so smelling bad. We cannot criticize a devotee. We cannot criticize a person for the smell if the person is already in the shower. Likewise, Prabhupada says that as long as we know that the person is practicing Krishna consciousness, Krishna will make sure that person who is practicing Krishna, Guru and Krishna will make sure they go back to Godhead. Guru and Krishna will make sure they go back to Godhead. And through that, there may be different phases. There is no need to put them in bins. Yes, Dimple Mataji, you have a question.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, the phrase that you said, was it said by Srila Prabhupada?
Taking a shower?
Yeah.
Yes, Mataji. Yes.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. So it's like, okay, they are practicing. Even Krishna says, Api chesu duracharo bhajante mam ananya sadhu eva samantavya. Krishna says, even if somebody does the most abominable act, what is most abominable act? you know, most abominable act cannot be defined. Like any act, worse. Most means the worst act in the universe. The worst act. Even worse than killing a cow or even worse than killing a brahmana. The most. Api chesu duracharo bhajante mam ananyabha. Krishna says, whatever they do, if they are engaged in my devotional service, I consider them sadhu. Krishna says, Krishna considers them sadhu. Then why do we judge? Krishna is telling this devotee is sadhu. We are telling, no. What kind of sadhu he is? Krishna is telling, no, he is sadhu. We said, no, Krishna, you don't understand. I'm telling you what kind of devotee this is. So that Krishna is not very, for just why? Because Krishna loves his devotees. Na? Just for example, we have some family members, maybe our husband, our wife, our children, our parents. They all may have fault. But then if somebody comes and say, Mataji, your daughter is like this, your son is like this, your husband is like this, how do we like it? Likewise, Krishna has unlimited love for us, and Guru has unlimited love for us. And it's up to Krishna to free us from the material modes. And sometime the soul is always pure, but the modes are there. And sometime we may act based on the modes. And Krishna knows that this devotee is acting based on this mode, but this is my energy. This devotee is forced by this mode to act in this way. But what Krishna is very pleased is this devotee is trying to take shelter of me. Sometimes my energy is so powerful. Krishna knows my Maya Shakti is Krishna says, Mam Maya Duratyaya. Krishna knows my Maya Shakti is impossible. However, they are acting is because of the modes, and modes are Krishna's energy. And Krishna sees that this devotee is acting based on the mode which is Duratyaya. But I am waiting for this devotee to do more surrender, and I will free that devotee from the modes. Mameva ye prapadyante mayametam tanantite. I will free him. I'm just waiting for the devotee to surrender little more, little more. So for Krishna, there is no fault in anybody. Why? Because they are acting out of Krishna's material energy. Krishna knows that. And Krishna is through his material energy, Krishna is trying to make the devotee surrender to him. Through material energy, some suffering may come. Then the devotee will think Paramatma in his heart, he will give the realization, see, surrender to Krishna. So Krishna is just waiting and trying to bring the devotee close. In the meantime, others in that community, in that sangha, doesn't need to like point finger. It's just Krishna is working with each and every individual devotee very carefully. And Krishna loves all of them. And they all will go back. Um, Anyways, I don't know why I said that, but yeah, Madhyamadikari. It is gradually as one gradually the vision will change. As little bit more mercy come, vision will change. Yes, Sharmagati Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanapana. Always Prabhupada.
All
Prabhuji,
good.
one question is going in my mind from some long time, so I thought it's the right time to ask. Prabhuji, is something going wrong in the temple, and the president of the temple himself is like corrupted or whatever, like he's breaking all the four regulative principles. Not all, but at least the most important that we should not. And then, if somebody finds it out, complains to the higher authority, and if no action is being taken, then how do we see that?
Mataji, see from this perspective. Okay, we have a temple
Mhm.
president.
Yeah,
He broke a vow.
yeah.
First thing, see that. Okay, this devotee has rendered service for so many decades selflessly, dedicating his time, energy, effort. Maybe if he's in Grasthashram, maybe his wealth also he has given. He has given his life. He has done so much for Krishna because of maybe some our material desires increases when there is some offense, and
Mm-hmm.
somebody sitting on that uh, on that stature or on that service may do something for the betterment of the temple, may make a decision for the betterment of the temple, and some may like and support his decision, some may not like and support his decision. Maybe he may have said something that he should not have said, a small mistake may have happened, slip of tongue bolte hain, या some emotion, some anger may have come because of the devotee's attachment to serve Krishna in a particular way. And some devotees may have felt bad, because of which some offense may have been created, and that devotee may, the illusory energy became very strong temporarily on that devotee, and that devotee may have acted in a certain way. No problem at all. No problem at all. And we are thinking that devotee is doing that. Mother, you will see sometime it will happen to us also. After 20 years, after 30 years, anytime, anything may happen to anybody. So it is not our duty to judge, and we don't want to like this person is like this. He should be very strict. How can he do? It is not our job description. We are not here. Our job title is to see who is doing wrong way. This is not our duty. It is not our responsibility. If that devotee has done something wrong severely, I guarantee you that devotee is lamenting right now. And that devotee is praying to Krishna, Krishna, please forgive me, Krishna. I acted. The moment the devotee come back to his senses, the devotee is lamenting, Krishna, I don't want to lose my relationship with you, Krishna. This is the most important. Krishna, I am ready to suffer for any reaction you give upon me. And Krishna is smiling upon that devotee also. But the reaction that Krishna is giving to that devotee by making other devotees think about him in a certain way is just so that the devotee becomes even more strict in adverse circumstances, but Krishna is still smiling on that devotee. So we should see in a certain way. Even you will see some spiritual master also may do something. Anybody can do anything at any point of time. We are just like Krishna. Trust me, Mataji, every sincere devotee laments when they do something wrong. Every sincere devotee is trying their best. At the same time, every sincere devotee sometimes becomes victim of the illusory energy which is immensely strong for us to overcome. But Krishna says, the devotee, even if he falls, if the devotee is engaged in my devotional service, very quickly he will again be reinstated in his devotional service. Very soon you will see, even if there is a whatever advancement he has made, nobody can take away from him. If that devotee has developed 60% taste in the holy name, that is eternal benefit to him. He may experience a dip for a month or two, and Krishna may make him go through some experiences which is good for that devotee, and very soon he will again be flying in his or her Krishna consciousness. So it is between Krishna and the devotee. It is not our duty to make a conception about that. We respect him, especially in the time where the devotee is most needed. If that is the mood we develop for devotees, whether there's a Vaishnava, trust me, Krishna will be very pleased with us. If we can change our consciousness and be favorable, knowing that mistakes may happen by anybody. Also, I have seen, if we think how this devotee can do, like if we think like that very strongly, we will see at some point of time in future, we ourselves we may commit those mistakes. That's why it is said, we see somebody's fault and that fault enter in us. We don't want to see fault because we want to be safe our side. Somebody does abominable, just pay obeisance. Prabhuji, Mataji, you are great devotee. That's all I know. You are a great Vaishnava, and I respect you for your devotion. That it's so pleasing to Krishna, so pleasing to that devotee.
Prabhuji, I feel like coming to that stage, it's very difficult because when you know things are going wrong, and now it's everywhere in internet, wherever you see. Now people like who all are not devoted, they will tell you like, "Oh, you are from ISKCON. I know now what's going on in ISKCON." So maybe 1% per people or few are there, but then you are
Yeah.
answerable to them. They are not going to ask that person who has done something, but they will come to you like, oh, you belong to that. Oh, I have seen what's happening there. So,
Yes.
like in that situation, it becomes hard to explain because even if we see if somebody is doing some mistake, we want that judgment right away, right?
Um, that
So,
urge we want to avoid, Mataji. You think about how Prabhupada will be compassionate. So many stories, Mataji, where somebody took the money of, um, 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 I think somebody gave this money to the temple for life membership, and the person who received the money, he put the money in his pocket, did not give the temple, and ran away. And then he was
mhm.
went to Prabhupada that Prabhupada, this is like, he's such a materialistic person, full of material desire. He's nonsense. They are telling Prabhupada, and Prabhupada would have tears in his eyes and say, Prabhu, you don't understand the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. Call him back and make him temple president. So, I mean, Prabhupada would just do some like, completely radical, but he just don't want the devotee go away from Vaishnava society. And if a devotee is going through some difficult time, we may see that this is Krishna's arrangement, perfectly orchestrated for the devotee, so that the devotee can go back to God in this life. Krishna has arranged this situation for this devotee, knowing this is best for this devotee, and this devotee will go back to Godhead. I just offer my obeisance to this devotee because he's going back home, back to Godhead. Krishna is so serious on this devotee that he's putting this devotee in this situation. We don't want loka drishti. We don't want how people see it. We see how Krishna is describing one who commits the most abominable activity. How Krishna considers, how Prabhupada considers. If you hear the stories of how Prabhupada treated those corner cases, you will say it was always full of compassion. It is said that when one deals the circumstances full of compassion, through that one satisfies the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And once the Supreme Personality of Godhead is satisfied, one by his mercy, one will become free from the influence of the three modes and experience eternal bliss. This is in Bhagavatam. If the Lord is satisfied by seeing the friendship among devotees, compassion, mercy. Four qualities are there, equality. Today morning, Bhagavatam, we were discussing this. And when the Lord is satisfied, then the devotee will become free from the influence of three modes and will experience eternal bliss. Our goal is to satisfy Krishna, na? Our goal. How dear, so
Yes,
it is said, a pure devotee never hates anybody. That is the verse today. A pure
yeah, I
devotee.
think I'm not at that stage, Prabhuji. That's why I find it sometimes very difficult how to look at the things. Like when you gave a like a whole total different perspective, right? To see at the same person in a different way. Yeah, thank you so much.
Grateful to you, Mataji. So Madhyamadikari. So we were discussing how then there is a Madhyamadikari. Madhyamadikari. Um, this is a vision that is naturally developed. It is this transformation from beginner to intermediate to advanced. It's not something that we try to copy or we try to own it. It's something our vision gradually changes with time of things. And this change of perspective is itself, it's just by Krishna's mercy, everything changes for us in time. It's a, how Prabhupada would say, it's an organic process. It's not something which is achieved. It is something which is graced upon us. And there is a organic gradual. Initially, I would just try to jump over and try to get what I want and make myself feel that I have got this and this is where I am. This is what I am. And these things, what I've seen is simply being false pride actually. Trying to trying when we put ourselves on a pedestal that we are not brings false pride. But when we are on a pedestal that Krishna has put us on, we will be humble on those pedestals. It's a organic growth. It's a gradual journey. And so our our focus is service to Supreme Lord, chanting the holy names of Krishna, taking association of devotees, reading Srimad Bhagavatam, worshipping the deities of the Lord, and serving in the mood of servant, which is very important. Serving in a mood of servant. Uh, Very good behavior with everybody, independent of how others deal with me. I want to deal very nicely with all the devotees. I don't want to judge any devotee. This swabhav, this swabhav actually acts as a catalyst in our devotional service. Um, so Madhyamadikari, he adores Krishna, he loves Krishna, he makes friendships with devotees. Anybody practicing, Prabhu, you chant Hare Krishna, I chant Hare Krishna, we are friends, Prabhuji. And friendship means um, um, it's a spiritual friendship. Friendship means, actually, real friendship we were discussing today in the morning. It's so wonderful. A real friendship. A real friendship means, Prabhu, I worship you. The other devotee says, Prabhu, I worship you. You say, no, Prabhu, I worship you. You are worshipable. आपका आरती उतारना चाहिए प्रभु जी. आपका डिवोशन क्या ग्लोरियस है प्रभु. Friendship मतलब we don't go in front of devotees and say, so Prabhuji, this is my and this is what I am doing. These many books I have distributed, and I led Sunday feast kirtan, in the temple, and um, yeah, I have 1 2 followers also now, and we don't blow a trumpet, but friendship with devotees means we go and devotee and we appreciate their devotion. Prabhu, your devotion is great. Prabhu. Your humility is great. You are exemplary, Prabhu. And the other devotee also feels very high. This kind of relationship is Goloka relationship. We are hankering for these kind of relationship where we can give love and we can receive love with no feeling of competition, with a feeling of sense of awe. In Goloka also, today morning we were discussing Goloka also, Srimati Radharani thinks, oh, Krishna, this devotee is way better than me, Krishna. Krishna, if you love me little bit also, Krishna, accept him, Krishna. See how he's rendering devotional service. Srimati Radharani is in awe. How The Kanishta Adhikaris are better devotees than her. This is cannot fathom. All glory. This is so make friendship with this. These relationships exist eternally in Goloka. Everybody thinks, wow, this, this is mind blowing. There is a Venu Geet in 10th canto. The gopis are telling, see, these trees are better devotees than us. See, their hairs are standing on it. These oceans are better devotees than us. This sun is better devotee than us. This cloud is better devotee than us. These birds, they are like closing their eyes in absorption, and we are so unfortunate. So it's like, if you see, you will see, they think everybody, like it is said, one of the vision of Mahabharata devotee, they think everybody is a better devotee than them. But our vision may not be like that. Our vision may be like, this devotee had this problem, this devotee this devotee had this problem. All problems only everywhere. But we see the gopis have a completely different vision. Mhm. Anyway, it's so wonderful just to hear about. So this is Goloka, where everybody thinks others are better devotee. And that's why this La Prabhupada would say we should serve in a mood of servant of servant of servant, because that's the mood they carry in Goloka. We may not have that mood here, but then we may try to cultivate as much as possible. Then make friendship with devotees, like deep friendship. Actually, we need one deep friendship in our life. One deep friendship with a devotee. Deep friendship with a devotee. Um, um, can can really get you through this life. Actually, one, we are fortunate if we have at least one deep friendship with devotees in our life. Amazing. So Madhyam Adhikari, he make friendships like that with the devotees. He adores the Lord. He loves the Lord is the object, and the devotees are life and soul. Um, and then whoever is innocent, he tries to awaken dormant love in the hearts of innocent people. Um, Srila Prabhupada says the mercy of a devotee is by giving Krishna. That's the mercy of devotee. A devotee wants to awaken everybody to Krishna consciousness, and I'm sure you all are doing that in a very wonderful way in your own areas. And avoids the atheist. And somebody criticizes the Lord, criticizes devotees, somebody derides the holy name, or somebody, then the devotee just stay away. Don't go in that sabha among Mayavadis. He just stay away from those. And then wonderful, he helps the innocent, he make friendship, deep friendship with devotees, and he loves the Lord. This is Madhyamadikari. Okay. So, okay. So we have, I think we can just two, three more slides are there. We'll go fast to finish this sixth verse. Uttamadikari, he sees everything in relation to the Supreme Lord. Uttamadikari, he sees um, um, Krishna has unlimited love for all of them. They all are hankering, seeking that love for Krishna. They all will be happy. They are crying out of love for Krishna. The Lord is sitting, their bodies are also temple, because the Lord of my life is sitting in all of them, and they are hankering for that relationship. Um, so they see everything, every living entity, and everything. This no, I cannot explain myself, but they see everything in relation to the Supreme Lord. They see atheist and theist as part and parcel of the Lord. Madhyamadikari, he distinguishes between atheist and theist. He makes deep friendship with the theist and he avoids the atheist. But Uttamadikari, atheist also, like God Babaji Maharaj is like Maha Bhagavat. And God Babaji Maharaj would say, everyone is a surrendered soul. Babaji Maharaj would say, everyone is perfectly surrendered. It's just some have surrendered to the Lord's illusory energy, some have surrendered to the Lord's internal potency, Srimati Radharani. But ultimately, everyone is surrendered to Krishna. And he would pay respect everybody, seeing that how everybody is surrendered so in different ways. So they see at the same time their vision is they see atheist and theist as part and parcel of the Lord. They see is that no, yeah, to see others as part and parcel of the Lord is really a mercy of Krishna. Then only we can see others as even the trees or the grass or everyone as spirit souls. Sees that there is no essential difference between Brahmana and dog because both are part and parcel of the Lord. He sees a devotee, he sees a dog, and then he sees there is not much difference. He sees a difference in misuse of free will. So, Uttamadikari, he sees this dog, the dog element, the spirit dog, the spirit soul. He's misused his free will, so he is put in this body. And this Brahmana has rightly used his free will, so he is given a chance to continue his devotional service from here. But everyone ultimately is, whatever situation, it's the same spiritual spark. He tries to do good to both. He tries to serve the dog, and he tries to serve because he sees both are eternal relationship with Krishna. Such a learned devotee is not misled by material bodies, but is attracted by the spiritual spark. Whatever the kind of body is there, is not misled. Learned devotee is not misled by material bodies, but is attracted. These are all part and parcel. False philanthropists try to imitate Uttamadhikari, and some people are like, love love your dog, love your neighbor, love everybody, love plants, love. This is actually the position of Uttamadhikari, but false philanthropist, they try to imitate Uttamadhikari. Their compassion is on a physical level, on a bodily level, surface level. But the Uttamadhikari relationship is connected to Krishna. So there is one who is like false philanthropist. True philanthropist is actually Uttamadhikari, because they are philanthropist means basically well-wisher, goodwill of everybody. Uttamadhikari has that, not the false philanthropist. Universal brotherhood. Some people are like, um, black, white, brown, blue, whatever skin color one is. Universal brotherhood must be learned from Uttamadhikari and not from a foolish person. That time also there was so much propaganda during Prabhupada's time on universal brotherhood. Prabhupada said, this is all like, on a surface level. Ki, yeah, we are all brothers and sisters. But Uttamadhikari platform is we are all eternal part and parcel of Krishna. And we are all hankering for that love for Krishna. It's like a completely different platform. But the true universal brotherhood, Uttamadhikari. True philanthropist, Uttamadhikari. But then there are many imitators. It is clearly mentioned in the sixth mantra, Anupashyati, that one should observe or systematically see. Anupashyati. So the verse says, one who sees the Supreme Lord in everywhere and everything, never hates anyone or anything. So Prabhupada says, who sees, the word uses Anupashyati, who sees the Supreme Lord in everywhere and everything. So that word is Anupashyati. So means to observe the Lord, to systematically see the Lord. So Prabhupada says there, Anu means to follow and Pashyati means to observe. Anupashyati. Um, um, that means that one must follow the previous acharyas, the perfected teachers. One very nice way to deal with circumstances is, how would my spiritual master deal with this situation? How would Srila Prabhupada deal with this situation? What I am doing, um, are they happy with me, with what I am doing? Do they want me to change my behavior? Do they want me to change my perception? Do they want me to not act on my attachments? How is like following the previous acharyas? Um, is it um, is it favorable for me? Just to think, just to analyze something from the perspective of Shastra, from the perspective of our Gurujans, from the perspective of Lord Krishna, um, Goswamis, um, to see ourselves, our action, to see others, to deal with the circumstances based on that is like anupashyati. Means now we are trying to see not from our naked eyes, not from our mind, not from our ego, but we are trying to see from a higher perspective. This is anupashyati. So it is, Srila Prabhupada also says that one who sees like this, even though one may not be Uttamadhikari, but one who sees like this, based on a higher perspective, scripture, sadhus, then even in an impure state, our perception would change. Then we may also exhibit those qualities of not hating anyone or anything. So systematically sees, Prabhupada also says that try to bring in that consciousness, that you systematically develop that vision. And I feel like that is also Krishna's mercy, that we are able to link our life situation to Shastra and to sadhus. One should not see things as he does with the naked eye. One cannot see properly unless one has heard from Vedic wisdom, which is coming down through disciplic succession. So one cannot see properly. But how one can see properly? By hearing. Unless one has heard Vedic wisdom, which is coming down through disciplic succession. Not just by reading, but by hearing. By hearing, we cannot see properly unless we have heard the Vedic wisdom from a bona fide source, from a spiritual master, from Srila Prabhupada's purport, um, from Srila Prabhupada's Vani, from the commentary and books of our predecessors. So this is like we are receiving Vedic wisdom from authorized sources, and that will help us to see, give a different perspective to see things. And when we systematically cultivate, that is anupashyati, then we may also exhibit of not hating. And Prabhupada finally says Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam are two most important revealed scriptures. um, and any knowledge which contradicts these two scriptures is unauthorized. If you hear any philosophy which is against Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, if you once you understand the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, and once you have faith in the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, you can hear anything and you can compare that with Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, and you can know that how bona fide the religion is or not. So, uh, before we wander around, first we must understand and develop faith in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. Then you can see everything from those perspectives. According to Bhagavad Gita 1854, only one who is liberated soul can become a Uttamadhikari and see every devotee as his own brother. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatmana Sochati Nakangshati Samaham Sarveshu Bhuteshu Mad Bhaktim Labhate Param. So there, Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, only liberated soul can become a Uttamadhikari. We cannot become a Uttamadhikari because we still are influenced by the lower modes of passion, ignorance. At least I am. So a liberated soul can, only a liberated soul can become a Uttamadhikari. And that devotee, only Uttamadhikari, only a liberated soul, can see, Prabhupada says, can see every devotee as his own brother. Like that's the love that our spiritual masters show, the causeless love for all living entities they show. You can deal with them in any way you like, and they continue loving you. Um, um, because they cannot hate anybody. Um, so, um, um, our good fortune is we have been introduced to this process. We have good association. We have the books. We have the process. We have everything near us, and we just need to keep following the path given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And um, we were reading in Chaitanya Charitamrita yesterday. Um, a day for yesterday, we were reading in Chaitanya Charitamrita. If one follows the process of devotional service and one serves under the guidance of spiritual master, going back home back to God, it is guaranteed. So all we have to do is just be on it and try to be sincere in your practices. Have a spiritual master, serve your spiritual master. Um, everything gradually, everything will start flowing in place. Everything. And we won't even realize when we attain perfection. So that's what Rupa Goswami says. One very important principle is patience. Yes, we hear something that's very nice. I may not be there, but I'm moving in the right direction. I'm driving towards the goal. The goal may be still few miles away, but I'm driving on that path. and just a matter of some time, I'll reach there also if I'm careful. So that's all. Verse number 7 we see next week. If there is any discussion, we can take now. Any more discussion we can take now. Uh, okay. If I spoke anything wrong or hurted anyone unknowingly, please forgive me as your humble servant. Vanchakalpatarubhesha kripasindhube evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah ananta koti vaishnavinda ki jai. Thank you for your patient hearing. Dandavat pranam. Hare Krishna. Thank you.